Princess of the Amazons. I won't be denied.
Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose, I love comic books, I love talking about them, I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like, links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the DC fan set that I have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. Absolute Wonder Woman #2. Love the return of the old DC Comics Bullet. And we have here our regular cover. Nice. I truly enjoy this art as well. The Absolute artists, so the Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, and the Absolute Superman artists they're my cup of tea. This is the least popular of all three books. I enjoy it. I do have to say it is not as good as the other two are, and Absolute Batman is just incredibly amazing here. Here we have one of the variant covers by Dan Panosian, whom I truly enjoy. He's a wonderful artist here. Or I think it's Dan Panosian. That's not his signature, so it's most likely not. And so this cover looks a bit Bill Sienkiewicz. It is not, but and this one by Jay Lee. Nope, not Jay Lee. Looks like Jay Lee. Goodness gracious, artist that could easily imitate somebody else, but not Jay Lee. It does look like a Jay Lee cover. Wow. All right, Gateway City, and so we're getting some exposition as to what happened before Wonder Woman is sitting on the beach here with, standing, and these creatures are all hovering past her, and you can see her trying to get them. I'm not gonna really read some of the exposition here, but you can see these Hellfire creatures attacking here. And Wonder Woman doesn't have a lasso of truth here, and you can see here it is marking here, so it's like a hell lasso of some kind. And Wonder Woman says, "That is but a taste, Harbinger Prime. Retreat now and save yourself," she says. And then they're attacking, and she's like, and the creature says, "Destroy her, Harbingers." I thought it was Bringer. It's Harbingers. Okay. And Wonder Woman says something here, and you can see conjuring up. This Wonder Woman's like a sorceress type thing. And Wonder Woman says, "This is your final warning. Desist and retreat or face your doom." And the creature says, "Retreat is doom, you fool." And Wonder Woman says, "So be it." And so get a double page spread here. Wonder Woman says, "Hear me, Harbinger Prime, for I bring to you Nemesis, a weapon forged in the fires of hell, fashioned by my mother, the sorceress Circe, made from the remains of the last basilic, infused with the blood of Prometheus, blessed by Demeter, goddess of the harvest, mother of us all." And so you can see her aim the lasso at the creature here. "And for you, Harbinger Prime, Nemesis will be particularly hell." So that's the name of the lasso, Nemesis. Okay, that's cool. "For she binds and burns in proposition to your sins, and your soul shines bright with the blood of innocent," she says. "The burn you feel, Harbinger, knows that it is the result of the pain you have wrought on others. All you are feeling you have earned. Accept Nemesis's judgment to you." And you can see the Harbinger. "Release me. Release me, Amazon. Release me," he says. "You shall have your freedom only on one condition. Only, Harbinger Prime. You will leave this place and not return, and you will pass this message to whatever monster summoned you to do its bidding. This world is now protected by Diana of the Wild Isle, Princess of Hell, the last Amazon, and the resources at her command. Tremble and hide for another millennium or two if you are wise, she says. And the Harbinger says, we accept. And Wonder Woman says, very well, and releases the Harbinger. And they all appear to be going away. And here we get, if only it were the end of it. So who is speaking? Let's see here. All right. And so the reporter's reporting here that they're all leaving here. And here we have Steve Trevor. And he says, Diana, as from the smoke, and look at her eyes get all big here. That's cool here. Like I said, this absolute universe is sort of Marvel's version to the Ultimate Universe. So things are the same, yet very different. These books, I like to see that these characters remain the characters, yet at the same time I love the differences that make these universes completely separate. It's pretty clever how they all went about. And so Steve says Wonder Woman here, and so we get here the last Amazon part 205. We got our credits here. Kelly Thompson is the writer and Hayden Sherman is the artist here. And so here are all the people that did those variant covers here. So, all right. Before Hell, the Wild Isle, home of Diana and Cersei here. And so as she's walking through, she sees Steve Trevor, who had shown up on Paradise Island during the original Wonder Woman, but this one shows up in Hell. So, by hectic, hello, can you hear me? She says. And Wonder Woman, speaking in her native tongue here, and I love the black sun here, kind of like an eye here, a black hole perhaps here. And so, you, please tell them I'm sorry, he says, and then she does some kind of sorcery here. Try again. I can understand you now. Can you hear me? She says. Who are you? Where did you come from? As she touches his, and then a creature grabs him and she yells no. And so she hurls herself into the ocean, goes down, and you just see this blah 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 blah. So you don't really show the fight, but then they show her coming out. Very cartoony. I like that. From the cartoons from back in the day here. Mother, bring the Cerberus fur. It's the warmest. They're in hell. It should be hot enough. And Cersei says, what in Hectate's name here? So keep in mind, in the original Wonder Woman, in the regular, Cersei's an enemy of Wonder Woman. So I found him by the shore, says Wonder Woman. He washed up, asked Cersei. I'm not sure. We're wet because the Hydra tried to take him. And Cersei says, by Hera, Diana, you can't just fight the Hydra so casually. And Diana says, I didn't fight it just so much as take him back. And so Cersei says, let's hope its memory is short then. And so Wonder Woman says, if it is not, then I will kill it. He does not belong to the Hydra. So you can see them put the blanket on him. And who does he belong to, daughter? You? Of course not. He belongs to himself, but I'm fond of, but I found him, and so I'm responsible for his life. And Cersei says, I'm not sure that's entirely true, but admirable nonetheless. I'll put the kettle on, says Cersei. And so a little time has passed here. We don't get an exposition of how long here, but look at these little monsters here. So, and Steve says, I thought on the beach, I thought you spoke Greek. And Diana says, I did. And Steve says, but we're not in Greece, he asks. And Diana says, I wish. And Steve asks, where are we? And Diana says, we're in my home. I live here with my mother, Cersei. And Steve says, right, but where? And Wonder Woman says, well, this is going to be hard. You're in the underworld. Underworld. Wait, hell? And Wonder Woman says, essentially, yes. And Steve's like, I'm dead. And they both, Cersei and Wonder Woman, say, not exactly. And Diana says, but you are still quite weak. Try to take it easy. You've been through a lot. Probably. And look at him, the desperation. I'll just give you a minute with that, she says here. So, and Cersei says, give him time, Diana. It's quite a shock. Um, and Diana says, why do you think he's here, Mother? And Cersei says, I don't know. And Diana says, do you think it's a test or a trap or? And Cersei says, or. And Diana says, a gift. And so she continues reading, and Cersei kind of smiles here. And so Steve goes, ma'am, I apologize for my behavior. It's probably the best word here. Not my best day, but thank you for taking me into your home. I'm indebted to you and your daughter for your assistance and care. My name is Steve Trevor, United States Air Force. And Cersei says, pleasure to meet you, Steve. I'm Cersei. This is my daughter, Diana. Welcome to hell. Fortunately for you, you landed on the Wild Isle, which, thanks to Diana and myself, is the safest place to be if you have to be in hell. And Steve is like, I do believe that. Look at that. I love this art. It's my cup of tea. So, Diana, would you be willing to show me where you found me? I like to investigate the area. And she's kind of smitten. You can see in the eyes. Of course, she says. So, all right. And so they're walking here, and he throws a stone. He says, I wouldn't throw them just there, Steve, huh? Right. Well, that's right where the Hydra tried to take you. It's probably still around. And Steve's like, Hydra? You can see the edge of one of the tentacles going under just there. And he's like, I don't see it. I apologize. I forget my vision is quite good. And Steve's like, I mean, my vision is good as a pilot. You need excellent eyes. Your eyes are something else, he says here. So I just want to comment on the art here. A lot of people probably don't like this kind of art. But like I mentioned, I enjoy it. So I do apologize if this art is, you don't like it, but it's pretty good. Unfortunately, the Absolute Wonder Woman doesn't do as good as Superman and Batman, but I think it's well. We gotta just, I guess, wait till all the issues are out, or that first arc, before judging it completely. So, and so Steve says, "You're very tall," and she says, "We're of similar height." And Steve says, "Yes, well, I'm also very tall, and in my world, there are almost no women as tall as you." Um, and Wonder Woman says, "Does this matter?" And Steve says, "No, actually, it doesn't matter at all." Then Wonder Woman says, "Then let's talk of something else. Tell me of your world, other than how tall people are." And Steve's like, "I'm sorry, it's hard to think about it right now. That's all that I'll never see it again. I mean, I don't want to brag, Diana, but I didn't think hell was where I was headed." And Diana says, "Does anyone?" Oof, you're tough. Give a guy a minute to adjust, I guess. I thought I was a good man, Diana. Oopsie. And here's what I think. Not everyone here belongs here. It's just sometimes where we've ended up. Um, and Steve says, "Thank you for saving me twice." And Diana says, "You're welcome. That's really sweet." And so back in Gateway City, they hug. And Diana says, "I hoped I would see you, but I never dreamt it would be today." And Steve's like, "What are you doing here?" And Diana says, "Saving the day." This is cool here. And her skeletal Pegasus here. And Diana says, "Your costume is very handsome." Um, and Steve's like, it's called a uniform." and you're about to meet a whole bunch of uniforms as I've been asked to bring you to Commander Cole. And she says, lead the way. And Steve's like, these people, Diana. And she interrupts him. You do not need to warn me, Steven. I'm not entirely naive in the world of men. I had a teacher with a sharp tongue in these things, as you well know. And I know that though they are grateful to be saved, many will not be grateful for my help in particular. An odd contradiction, but one I'm more than capable of handling. So, and so Steve Superior is yelling at Wonder Woman here, and she just kind of looks at him, endangering a massive number of lives with this insanity, and without any military coordination, let alone approval. For all we know, you're in league with the damn thing. Incredibly convenient you showed up at the exact same moment it did, and are the only one that can stop it. And look at this as he. And Steve's just looking down here. Explain that to me if you don't mind too terribly much. And Wonder Woman says, kind of looking down on him, I understand your position, Commander. I am an outsider and an element you cannot control, and that frustrates you. But this is not my problem, says Diana. Everybody else is trying to mind their own business here. Like, okay. And Wonder Woman says, my problem is that the monsters are coming, and I am the only woman. Sorry, and I am only one woman, but I will coordinate with you to the best of my abilities, so that we may save more lives together. This world is not prepared for what is coming for it, and you will need my help. But please understand that any effort to fashion me into yet another arm of your military industrial complex will simply not be tolerated. So, you dare to, and she interrupts, yes. And then she continues here. How is the evacuation proceeding? And this guy here says, slow, but we're going to stop the orders. You killed it, right? Or sent it home or something? And Wonder Woman says, I did. Just that it was, but that was just a harbinger. Like a messenger of things to come. And she says, exactly. And the commander's like, for something larger? And she's like, of course. And this one here says, do you know what it will be or when? And Wonder Woman says, oh no, there are many things it could be. As to when, I'd say within the hour. And the commander's like, the hour? If we're lucky, yes, she says. And the commander snaps and says, get me Graham back online right now. And Jacoby, get in touch with the chief of police and the commissioner. Tell them they've got 40 minutes to finish evacuating. And he spits, and you, if you won't play ball, I'll have you court-martialed. Commander, that seems, says Steve. You're out of line, Trevor. The rest of the world may think you're some kind of superhero meets Jesus, but I know you're just a man, and you can be court-martialed too, he snaps. And Wonder Woman, look at this. Are you finished? And he's like, yes. And she says, here's the problem, Commander. I think we both know you need me quite badly, given what's just happened. But I don't need you at all, she says. So perhaps rethink how you would like to approach this conversation. Let's try again when you've calmed down. Hopefully, that will be before any more innocent innocent people have lost their lives. I'll be outside feeding my horse. And the soldier goes, what the hell does a dead horse eat? And she says magic as she kind of goes out here. And so, agreed, whatever the Harbinger Prime was heralding will still come. Defeating the Herald will not stop it. And Steve comes out. Can you understand your horse? I can communicate with all animals, Steve, says Diana. Can I pet him? You may. He finds your manner soothing. So, what's his name? Asked Steve. Pegasus. I know he's a Pegasus, but what's his name? And she says, Pegasus. Your Pegasus is named Pegasus? And Wonder Woman is Steve. My winged horse is the great mythological winged horse Pegasus, born of Medusa's blood, slain by Zeus. Is that why he's, Bones? And, Wonder Woman says he is far more than just bones. But yes, he is bones because he was slain. So is he alive? And Wonder Woman says, magic and sacrifice, just like you. I'm sorry about what happened there, says Steve. It's disappointing, but I expected it. What will they do if they won't let you help? Sorry, what will you do? And Wonder Woman says, I'd like to see them try. They will come around, Steve. I'm sorry to say there are many things coming here that will force them to. They need my help, and there will be others, too. And he says, others? And Diana says, heroes. And the Pegasus kind of goes off. And she says, he hears. And then all of a sudden she holds the wind pain here and she goes, by hectate. And Steve asks, Diana, what's happening? And he goes, cover your ear. And so he does. And he goes, what is that sound? And she says, it will pass. It's what comes next we have to fear. Mother, protect me in dangerous waters. Goddess, guide my hands, righteous and true. Sisters, if I do not find you in this world, I will find you in the next. Love. I really enjoyed, like I said, this art is my cup of tea. I know it's not for everybody, but... And here we go. We see this thing here. For now I have to seen the face of the tetracide, and none who see it shall survive. And they're like, oh my god, Diana, what is this? And she says, death personified. And so we get to the last page here, and Wonder Woman says, Commander, evacuate the city now. I'll buy you time. And the commander's like, city, you said a mile. And she says, I was wrong. And Goddess, protect us all. The tetracide leaves nothing behind. Next, death of fear. So nice. Oh, goodness gracious. Look at this. This is cool. This is very, very cool. Absolute Wonder Woman #2 from this year, 2024, came out last month, which would be November of 2024. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.